The holiday season has arrived in Lexington, but before the presents, Kentucky takes the floor, eyeing their second straight 12-1 start, while Wright State and their sharpshooters are hoping to deposit some lumps of coal in the Wildcat stockings tonight. And we say welcome to historic Memorial Coliseum. Happy holidays alongside the former Wildcat Bria Goss. I'm Noah Frary, and the Kentucky Wildcats are off to a strong start this season. One final test in Wright State. Bria, how do they add another gift under the Christmas tree?
Listen, let it fly, McFly. Step it in with confidence. We shoot a lot of threes, so they've got to be able to also be able to combat that with also doing that good job in defending the three as well. And we know that Wright State can get it up there as well.
Now, this is a Wright State team led by point guard Breezy Williams. She's a dynamic guard.
Man, let me tell you, talk about heart over height. This player is not very tall, but she knows how to put the team on her back. Does a great job going downhill, super dynamic, and just an all-out bucket getter. Super exciting to play and watch. One
of the fastest players on this team. Meanwhile, for Kentucky, they have been bit by the injury bug here. Tiani Key will miss tonight's game. She's day-to-day out with a lingering injury, so insert Asia Boone into the starting lineup. She'll make her first career start as a Kentucky Wildcat this evening.
Man, and what an awesome opportunity that is for Boone, who's been playing a lot of hefty minutes, so this shouldn't be anything new. One of the big things about her is that she is not shy. She's going to be able to put it up. She likes to get 2 feet into the paint, and she knows how to distribute the ball. So, again, another exciting player. It's not going to just take one player, though, to fill those shoes of Key. It's got to be a complete total team effort.
Boone, the Liberty transfer, making her first career start. Clara Strack is ready. So is Claire Henson as we get set to get this final non-conference game before Christmas underway here in Lexington. And the Kentucky Wildcats win the opening tip. Maggie Timon, Molly Caldwell, and Nicole Brannon are officials tonight. A Kentucky team that comes in red hot as Asia Boone airballs the open three. An 11-1 start to the season, looking to make it 12-1 for the second straight year in a row. Meanwhile, Wright State team mired in a 3-game losing streak. They've lost 6 out of their last 7. Breezy Williams leads them at the point guard. Lauren Scott has played a lot of games in a Wright State jersey. As we see Riddle take the early 3 and gets the shooter's roll.
Man, just stepping right into it, 1-2, and already the gun is already loaded. I like where that confidence piece is already at for Wright State.
Tony Morgan, one of the best point guards in the country so far. Amelia Hassett had a big game against Belmont, misses the 3. Strack with the O-board, the putback, and she will head to the free throw line.
Well, we know that this Kentucky Wildcat team is definitely have the height advantage here, and not only just from a guard perspective, you know that there are some bigs down there that are ready to battle and ready to bang. So let the ball come off the fingers with confidence and know that your teammate's going to have your back.
Strack misses the free throw. As you mentioned, a Kentucky team with a distinct height advantage coming into today's game. You look at the average height of both of these teams. Kentucky about 5 inches taller across the board. There's Breezy Williams working amongst the trees. Kicks a wide open Sagaster. Too strong on the 3, but a good battle inside. And the basketball will go to the Wildcats. Carrie Hoffman, 5th season at the helm of this Wright State team, took over. Had a winning season a year ago. Going to get her team back to the Horizon League tournament once again. They've been in the quarterfinal or better in 3 of the last 4 years. Strack airballed the 2. Look at Riddle running the floor, drives into the paint, throws it up. And it will be an offensive foul as Asia Boone steps in and draws a key foul against Riddle.
That's why she's in there. I mean, one of the best things about coming in off of the bench, you get to see how the game is called. So when you're starting already automatically, you got to be focused, ready to go, and that's exactly what Boone did. Sacrificing her body and put it on the line. I love that. 2 quick fouls for Riddle as she heads to the bench. Morgan inside, the easy finish for 2. She's been red hot lately, averaging over 16 points per game in her last 6. Here's Henson, rises up and hits over Hassett. At
least early on, you have to be impressed with some of the looks that Wright State's been able to create already.
No, absolutely. They're getting just about every shot they want to right now. Again, it's got to be a lot of laser focus, and they don't have the height advantage, but coming back in, see where you can get your sweet spots.
Strack working on Dillian. Out for Hassett. She'll hit the 3. She hit a season-high 5 in her last game against Belmont. Picks up right where she left off.
She has such a high arcing shot. There's no way you're even able to contest it, really, in the sense of how high that ball is.
Williams matched up on Morgan. Finds an open Henson. Nowhere to go. Deep in the shot clock. Sagister tripped. Foul will go against Amelia Hassett. Her first. A look there at Kenny Brooks has his team off to an 11-1 start. His 2 years here in Lexington. His team's known for dominating non-conference play. Especially here at home, they've not lost a ton. Inside, Scott dumped it off, and the easy finish for Dillian.
And that backside help there has got to be there just a split second earlier, especially on that drive. You got to be able to know where your player's at, especially on the backside.
Morgan drove into a double team, pulls up, knocks down the 2.
It's about as smooth as butter that player is, and so much confidence, knows how to lead the team, but also knows how to get 2 feet in the paint and just go straight up.
Williams steps through. Call the travel there, took an extra step.
Never rushed. She's able to read the defense just so beautifully. Let me write some stuff down and put that into my game of just how do you come off the screen and be ready on that attack mode.
When you watch Toni Morgan, it just feels like she has such a slow heartbeat as we see Clara Strack hit for 2 more. Question tonight was, could the Raiders keep up with the offensive pace for Kentucky? Wildcats averaging over 80 points per game. Henson inside, draws the foul on Lexi Blue, who had just entered.
I like how she was able to cut her off going into the secondary move. Kind of forced her into that fadeaway and just got a little bit too handsy, but I do like the pressure.
What's the key as a defender in that situation?
Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, especially if the player isn't used to a lot of contact, who have to force into the fadeaway, that's where you just go straight up and down, hands high, belly up, and see if she can shoot over you.
Henson hit the second. State hanging around down by just 3 as Williams, who's one of the best defenders in the Horizon League, nearly picked the pocket of Toni Morgan. Morgan driving inside, hands it off. Obi had that shot blocked. Rebound comes down for Lauren Scott. Long 3 here from Sagister. It'll go in. She's the best 3-point shooter in the Horizon League and showing off some big-time range.
Yeah, you got to know where she's at. Again, not afraid to get it up and out of her hand, so you got to be ready to go.
Morgan couldn't respond. Blue with the offensive rebound, blocked from behind by Williams. And right now, Wright State playing some scrappy basketball.
Yep. That's the equalizer right there. You know, being scrappy, trying to limit second chance opportunities for Kentucky. Just kind of having that hustle factor, that hustle piece. You know, they can rest tomorrow, but today they're going to ball.
A full line change for Wright State as Carrie Hoffman goes to the bench. Strack continuing to remain aggressive. We'll head to the free throw line on the foul. Analinga Rager, the freshman out of Winnebago, Illinois. Strack with 5 points here in the early going. A dynamic center, one of the best in the country. She'll hit both free throws.
Her confidence is just continuing to rise as she continues to play, especially without a Georgia Amore. She's been able to kind of take into that leadership role.
Brown penetrated, stopped. Jestro Kennedy hands it off. Drought gave it away. Rager inside. With that one deflected, it will stay with the Raiders with 2.5 on the shot clock. Before that, we'll take a break here in Lexington. Kentucky being tested early by Wright State. Twelfth-ranked Kentucky being tested at the moment by the visitors from Dayton, Ohio, Wright State. The Wright State Raiders off to an up-and-down start to the season. 5-8 so far. They were projected 8th in that Horizon League poll. This is a team, Bria, that has a dynamic offense, but it's been a bit of a roller coaster at times.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, talking to the coach at the end of shoot-around today, she really got into herself in the sense of, we just did not finish some games. There should have been 3 or 4 games that should have been wins that ended up being losses because they weren't capitalizing by the end of the game in late game situations. So that's what you're going to see, especially going into conference play. That has to be a big change and a change of focus as well.
A couple of overtime losses, the difference in a winning versus a losing record. A dynamic offense that right now is giving Kentucky some trouble here in the early stages. Wright State 4 of 6, 67% from the field, but they will not get a shot off here with just 2.5 seconds left on the shot clock.
You can't, especially coming out of a timeout, you've got to know what the shot clock situation is and the regular clock situation, so those things won't happen.
Probably give Carrie Hoffman an extra gray hair or two, right?
Exactly.
Kentucky shooting under 50% from the floor here in the early stages. Clara Strack leading the way with 6. Morgan setting up the offense. Got a step on her defender, and we'll head to the free throw line. You can see the effort that Kentucky is making right now, Bria, to get downhill.
Oh yeah, and especially with such a dynamic attacker as Morgan is. I mean, she likes going to that left side and finishing with the inside hand, and makes it look super easy. Not even breaking a sweat, but I like the length and explosiveness going downtown.
So that'll put Toni Morgan at the free throw line. Quickly becoming one of the best point guards in the SEC this season. She'll miss the first free throw. She's coming off of an 18-point performance where she made 9 of 10 free throws in that closer than it probably should have been win over Belmont.
Yeah.
Kentucky led by as many as 17 in that game, but it was Belmont who got back within 8 on the final score line.
And that was a tough one too. I mean, you just saw the deflation of energy, and which goes to show just how much focus and energy you need to spend for the full 40 minutes of the game.
Great drive, couldn't finish. That was Magestro Kennedy. Morgan with her head up. Obi running the floor, locates Boone in the corner. She'll cash in.
Now that's offense right there. I was looking. There was no transition buckets, within that first half of the quarter. And coming in, that's going to be a big piece for the Wildcats to continue to grow their lead.
Wright State trying to find the answer. Okay. Blocked by Strack. This Kentucky team leading the nation in block shots, over 8 blocks per game as Strack provides their first. Another group of reindeer entering the game.
Yeah. Love the extra Christmas music too. I love Christmas time.
I do too.
Yeah, it brings out the best in people.
It feels festive in here.
It does.
Scott inside, couldn't finish. Second chance created by Dillian. Unable to convert. And now Kentucky pushing once again in transition. Cats did not have numbers, so Morgan wisely pulls it out. Good shooting lineup on the floor right now for Kentucky as Strack uses her height to her advantage.
I mean, just to turn around, her eyes are already up. The ball is in a great position to where it can't be touched. Confidence.
Williams, the long two, too strong. Pace of play really picking up after that last media timeout. Here's Strack, aggressive inside and already into double figures. Wow. And a timeout coming here for Carrie Hoffman. Clara Strack is feasting early on this Wright State defense.
Well, she gets the ball, her eyes immediately go to the basket. You know, and that says a lot about a post. She's not being passive, she's not looking to pass. If you come up and try to belly up with her, she knows how to put the ball on the ground and go to the bucket just as she did there. And if you sag off a little bit or hands down, it's man down, and that ball's going up. She's a matchup nightmare right now for Wright State.
You look at Clara Strack, and across the board, her numbers up over an outstanding redshirt sophomore year a season ago, putting together some massive numbers that are putting her in a conversation as being one of the best centers in the country. You think of Lauren Betts and what she's been able to do for UCLA over the last 2 seasons. What a year Audie Crooks is having, but man, Clara Strack right now has put herself in the conversation as one of the best centers in America.
Oh, absolutely. And she's one of those players, again, that does all the little things right. She's playing it on both sides of the floor and doing a really good job leading her team.
Henson couldn't finish inside, and I think that point you were making is what matters the most. Strack brings it on the offensive end on the glass, but her ability on defense sets her apart as we see Boone miss it. Offensive rebound for KK Carroll. Morgan, a wide open lane, fouled, count it. And a trip to the free throw line is coming.
A huge board there, just getting in, doing the dirty work, not forcing. Easily could have settled for the 3, but why not get 3 the long way, going to the bucket for an and 1.
I told you about the prowess of both of these teams shooting the 3-point ball, but at least early on you feel like Kentucky's giving up some of those 3-point shots for better looks.
Yeah, which that's what it's about. You start adding that into your game, you're always going to have the inside game, you'll have the outside game, but how much harder and that much more difficult would it be if you were able to add in the factor of the attack mode?
A 13-0 run for Kentucky out of the media timeout. Wright State trying to find an answer. Will they get one here? Yes, they will. On the strong drive inside by Lauren Scott. 107th game in a Wright State jersey for 21 in green. Here's Strack for 3. Too strong. If you're Wright State, how do you find some more consistent offense?
Well, one, you know, their leader in Williams, who's only shot 1 shot, and that was a little bit forced there. You got to find a way to get her going, and then also get the ball out of the net, see if you can start playing fast.
Henson handed it off, thrown at the rim there by Carroll. Kentucky running the floor. Strack, great catch, and heading right back to the free throw line. Kentucky living at the charity stripe here early tonight.
I mean, just a workhorse, Strack is. As soon as the ball is secured by a teammate, she puts her head down. Those first 2 steps are explosive and trying to make it down there and beat everybody down the floor every single time.
And if you're Breezy Williams there who picked up the foul, you're saying, what can I do?
Right.
I check in at 5'5" going up against Clara Strack.
Right. And honestly, you know, kudos to her going down there, not shying away, trying to make something shake there, but she's going to need some help.
Strack will check out, picking up right where she left off. 11 points here in the first quarter. Had 10 in the second half in that win over Belmont. Williams still without a basket. Finds an open Henson. Good close out by Obi. Henson penetrating and throws it away right into the hands of Kenny Brooks.
Now that's how you listen to the scouting report there. It's a great closeout there by Jordan. Getting the ball high, making the player do something else, rushed her into a forced situation, And what happens is the turnover.
That was something Kentucky spent a lot of time on in shoot-around in practice yesterday preparing for this matchup.
Exactly. Now we got a zone here by Wright State.
Blue trying to bust it. She will. She can heat up in a hurry from downtown. Kentucky with their largest lead of 15. Williams working on Boone. A wild shot won't go. Kentucky with a chance to add to their lead. Hassett wide open, up top, just short. And KK Carroll draws the foul inside.
I mean, we're talking a long zone here, different look for Wright State, and just wide open Lexi Blue from downtown. Again, another play that comes off the bench, focused, ready to go, see if you can make an immediate impact.
Sagister running off the screen. Open in the corner, Lauren Scott. Teardrop, too strong. Boone running the point now with Tony Morgan off the floor. Kentucky will settle it down.
That's good
and take the final shot.
Really good recognition. Looked like she went to keep on going. Did a quick peek at the shot.
Shooters in the corner right now. Blue and Hassett as Boone makes her move. Left open, triggers the three. And just says, why not?
Make it easy.
Kentucky closes on a 20-2 run at the end of the first quarter. There's nothing like some free t-shirts to get a youth basketball team to their feet here inside historic Memorial Coliseum, though Kentucky's offense playing a role in that as well. When you look at this Kentucky team, Bria, offensively and defensively, you compare them to last year, they're ahead of pace to where they were a season ago.
Absolutely, I think they're just dialing in, doing the extra mile, right? So you know your teammate's gonna go out there, fight for as hard as she can. What does that do? It makes you also want to fight as hard as you can. So they're doing a great job locking in into the scouting report, loving it.
And their efficiency, a big part of that has been the early play of Clara Strack. 4 for 6 from the field, 11 points in that opening quarter.
Boy, does she look comfortable. And we still have 3 other quarters to go. She's one of those players that probably won't play, for the full 40 minutes, but coming in there, making that immediate impact, and then just on the defensive side. I love her offense, but her defense is just as good, and being a two-way player, you're gonna come in and try to kill every single time. So continue that confidence, see if you can get something going this quarter.
Bria, one of your day jobs is you're the radio analyst for the Indiana Fever.
Yes,
you get a chance to watch some of the best players in the world, particularly post. How does Clara Strack's game translate to that next level?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Just from a pro standpoint, she already carries herself as a pro as another long 3 there. But, I mean, just from top to bottom, you've got to be able to know where she's at all times. But again, Strack and just the way that she's able to see the game is right where that IQ of a professional basketball player is.
Good ball movement here for Kentucky. Morgan found an open Hassett. Strack drives, spins, won't go. Offensive rebound, foul. And Clara Strack heading right back to the free throw line. Tenacity on the boards there for Clara Strack, who comes into tonight averaging a double-double on the season. Foul goes there against Riddle. She's had a tough start to the night. Drew 2 quick fouls to open the game, picks up her 3rd, so she will not most likely come back out until at least the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
Clara Strack on that Naismith Player of the Year award watch list, was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. And yeah, I alluded to it earlier. When you look across the board right now for Clara Strack, her numbers say she's even better this year than she was a season ago.
Yeah, and she was. And putting in that work in that offseason is huge, and it comes out in big games, especially as we approach conference.
Henson, a wild shot. Second chance will go. She's been a bright spot for Wright State on offense early.
Yeah, just finding, getting those 2 feet into the paint, making this Kentucky Wildcat team know where she's at.
Josie Gilvin into the game. Deep in the shot clock. Strack puts it on the deck. Working on Dillian, rises up. It skips off. And the Rebound down for Henson, who's been all over the place for Wright State. Really see the length of Kentucky bothering the Raiders as a great skip pass, and Lauren Scott pays it off for two.
It's one thing we haven't seen from Wright State. You know, if there's no three ball, then they struggle to find baskets, and you got to allude to the fact that Kentucky's playing that three, but that was a great find on the back door.
Inside, Strack, the patented step back. Another rebound for Henson. Sagister driving baseline, threw it back, and right into the hands of Josie Gilvin. She'll run the floor, and the Kentucky kid finishes off the glass.
Now that's extra effort right there. Could have just easily let that ball go out of bounds and set it back up, but that extra effort, that's why she's on the floor.
Down low they go to Henson once again. Hand it off, Brown spins. It circles off and down to the Wildcats. Right now outscored 7-4 to begin this second quarter as Morgan coughs it up. Henson driving, Strack says no, but the foul will go on Jordan Obi. Looked like she got her hand on the body.
Yep. Man, it's a great hustle back. Can't take that away, but you got to know who's also coming on your other side there. It's almost like I dare you to go in there with Strack. Go ahead and let her clear that block.
More times than not, Clara Strack says, "Thou shalt not enter my lane." The most fearsome shot blockers in the country.
Yeah.
Nobi after the foul off the floor as Henson makes both free throws. Leading the way right now with 7 points as she checks out, needing a breather.
Yeah, Coach Hoffman, you know, she does a good job. We've seen 5 in, 5 out, getting her players rest and things so that they can come in and, you know, go as hard as they can for a few minutes.
Morgan at the free throw line, gave it up for Gilvin. Kicked back out, straight on three. Strack couldn't corral it. And couldn't believe that it wasn't staying with Kentucky. That's a ball Strack normally grabs in her sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, that one just kind of looked like it got poked out just a little bit. A little awkward landing.
Right now, this Wright State team finding some success on offense in the second quarter. Why is that?
Well, I don't think they're settling for the three. They're not just looking for the three. They're going off the dribble a little bit more. They're passing a little bit more crisp, going back door with a little bit more attitude. So, you know, it's opening and freeing some things up.
Deep in the shot clock. Magestro Kennedy has to throw it up. Some great defense there by Boone, and it'll lead to a shot clock violation.
So on that possession, they got stuck on one side. Kentucky didn't really have to do a lot to move and to help. There was no inside-out game, and then the probe was a little bit too slow. So when they have those possessions where they're whipping the ball from one side to the other, that's what's going to make them successful.
Gilvin hands it off. Strack, the great catch, could not finish. Kentucky's had a number of good looks in the second quarter that you just have not been able to convert on as Dillian goes hard to the tin.
That was nice. It's a nice hesitation move. Got it high off the glass, almost like a finger roll.
Again, looking inside to Strack, drew the triple team. Somebody's got to be open. It's Gilvin. Drains the three.
Now that's got to feel good. Now we talk about inside out, ball went in, there was a triple team. Like you said, somebody is open. What do? Got to make them pay.
Dillian on the other end. Strack got her hand on it. Ahead for Boone. Step back, three. Bingo! Kentucky red hot from downtown. And they've got their largest lead of the night.
Now that's what's going to set them apart as they start getting into the SEC season, of that quick transition from defense to offense, and again, not being shy to let it fly.
Wright State trying to find an answer. Some more good defense from Boone. A tie-up, And it will go to Kentucky. Asia Boone shooting the lights out here inside HMC.
Tell you what, she said, I'm getting a start. I'm going to go ahead and make it count. Love it, Boone. Keep on rolling.
12th ranked Kentucky up big here early, leading by 17, but without one of their best players tonight in Tiani Key. Bria, you wondered what the rotation would look like, who would step up, and right now players like Lexi Blue and Josie Gilvin are doing just that.
Absolutely. And again, it wasn't a one-player thing that needed to have just this spectacular game. I think everybody across the board needed to step up, and that's exactly what these players are doing. They're coming in with the confidence of doing so. And in practice, they're getting reps, you know, with the starting lineup and against some of these practice guys and going hard. So the preparation was there. So I know Coach Kenny Brooks is loving seeing that, and they're going to continue to grow off of it.
I think Kentucky fans loving seeing some of the additional shooting on the floor as well. Kentucky right now 6 for 12 from downtown.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, you can't stop everybody, and sometimes you get to a point where it's like, well, I just hope they miss. So getting out there, seeing if Wright St could really start zoning in, running Kentucky off of the line, seeing if they can get some different looks. But right now, they're controlling the tempo and the pace.
For your first time for you seeing this Kentucky team in person, what's impressed you here early?
Well, honestly, they're kind of running like a little bit more of a run and gun than what we used to. I know Coach Matthew Mitchell, he loved going up and down and getting your face defense and getting to the rim. We're more right now with this Kentucky team is more of a Golden State Warriors look. Get the ball out of the nets and see if you can go down there and spot up and shoot.
Alongside the former SEC freshman here, Bria Goss, I'm Noah Frary. Got to remind the people, Bria, as Boone triggers, skips off. Look at Gilvin battle. And called for the foul there, was trying to get the tie up.
Yeah.
Love the intensity there, though, from Josie Gilvin, who's probably be the first to tell you that her start to the season has been a little bit disappointing, unable to crack the rotation for a player that was fantastic a season ago at Western Kentucky.
Yes.
Morgan just ripped it away from Williams, pushing the pace. Just used her body to shield the much smaller Williams.
Williams is struggling a bit in this game, just not in a lot of rhythm and flow and not being super aggressive as we've seen in the past.
Feels like Kentucky's length really affecting her as she pulls the three there. Oh, that hit about every part of the rim it could, would not go down. Boone wants another three. That three on the night, couldn't make it 4.
Again, just stepping right into it off of the missed basket and eyes up and ready to go.
Williams blocked by Morgan, kept in play. Gilvin pushing, off the glass, no. Foul there going against Wright State. That'll be on Grace O'Kee, her first.
And, you know, that's tough because the guard just didn't allow enough time for the post to be set, so she was the one that was penalized for it, even though got to be able to have your eyes up, slow down, wait for the screen to be set, and then explode off the screen.
Those post players tend to get the short end of the stick.
They do, and I have put my teammates in that same position, so.
Oh, here's Strack wide open. Could not hit the bunny. But heading back to the free throw line, it'll be her 4th trip already tonight.
Man, she's so wide open down there. I didn't see exactly who set the screen, but whoever it was just set an all-out screen to get Strack wide open.
Strack now with 14 points here in this first half. Averaging over 15 points per game. She'll match that here. Career highs in points per game, rebounds, blocks, steals per game. You get the point. She's having a fantastic start to the year. Wide open, the three would not go there for Carroll. Strack wants a three of her own. Give it to her. A first half to remember for Clara Strack. She's got 18.
Oh my goodness. I mean, what can't she do at this point? You gotta know where she's at. 18 first half buckets.
Wright State has just not had an answer for Kentucky over the last 5 minutes. Scoreless over the last 2 minutes and some change. Magestro Kennedy for 3. Rebound for Strack. Working on a first half double-double. Carroll wide open on the wing. Oh yeah. And then we'll force Wright State to call a timeout. Kentucky can't miss from downtown.
Telling you, out the net, just nowhere near where the shooters are. There's not a lot of communication from Wright State. Way to go, Morgan, for having her eyes up and being able to assist that. But my goodness, they are lights out, Kentucky is.
Really spreading the wealth right now as well. 6 different Wildcats have hit a 3 here in the first half.
That's insane. That's insane. It shows you the depth of this team right now and what they're able to do.
Strack, as we mentioned, having a big first half, 18 points already. Would be eyeing a new career high, had 27 in that homecoming return for her to Buffalo earlier this year.
You know, none of her shots look forced. You know, everything is well within the offense. Again, her eyes, as soon as she gets the ball, her eyes are at the bucket. So she's in that attack mode. She's able to read the defense. And, you know, Coach Brooks wants her to be in good positions to score. And she's rewarding herself right now. 18 first half buckets and still some time to go.
Brown spun into some open real estate. Obi has the board.
Good help defense on the backside.
So much movement right now for Kentucky. A 50-point first half with time to go. Carroll.
Thought about it.
Here's Blue. Finds Hassett. Off the rim. Obi tracks it down. Right back inside. Kentucky's going to reset. Carroll, slip screen, open for 3. Blue tracks it down, a third chance for Kentucky on this possession. Carroll, another try. This time it'll go. Ball movement to perfection.
Yeah, I mean, just not giving up on plays, not settling, reading the defense, knowing where they're at. Lexi Blue chasing the ball down, that extra possession opportunities, and then rewarding themselves with a 3.
9 first half threes for Kentucky. Nearly a turnover there, but it will stay with Wright State for the moment. Wright State came out and played well to begin this game. What changed?
Man, I don't know what was said in that timeout from Coach Brooks, but whatever it is, I think it was the tempo, that sense of urgency, playing with the purpose, moving with the purpose. All those little things started to really come alive and really went on that, 20-2 run.
Henson rejected by Obi. 5/10 of a difference between shot and game clock. Carroll triggers the corner 3 and rattles it home. 9 first half points for KK Carroll off the bench. Shot clock off here for Wright State. Sagaster flanked by Blue. 4 on the shot clock. Brown has to go, throws it up. And too strong as Kentucky finishes off a dominant first half here in Lexington. 6 different Wildcats hitting a 3 tonight. Tony Morgan's been excellent. Kentucky cashing in from downtown, up by 33 at the break. Kentucky Wildcats making everyone's wishes come true in that first half, up by 33 at the break over Wright State. Kentucky riding a couple of huge scoring runs to this big lead for you, and the three-point shooting, as we've already mentioned, was excellent for Kenny Brooks' side.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where Wright State doesn't even know where the ball is. The ball is going from one side of the floor to the other in 0.2 seconds. So it's really hard to match up and see where they can fit in there. But boy, they're going to have to start having some high hands, butt down, see if they can get Kentucky off of the three-point line, start forcing them into some other shots.
And if you're Kentucky, what do you want to see from them here in this second half, a final half before Christmas break?
Yeah, well, one of the things, they got to still continue to keep them out of the paint. Anytime Wright State has an opportunity to either cut in the paint or get 2 feet in the paint, they're usually more times than not good shots. Whether they go in or not, you know, that doesn't really always matter. But if they want to capitalize, I think they're doing a good job running them off of the three-point line, but also don't give up on the backside.
57 points, the most that Kentucky has scored in a first half this season. The previous best was the first half against Monmouth, where they scored 55. Kenny Brooks has to be pleased with how his offense looked. How can they put together a complete game?
That's exactly what I was going to say. And, you know, it's in these games where it's easy to let up and lack of intensity. So I know in that halftime locker room, they were probably talking about how they can continue to get better.
Back to the starting five for Carrie Hoffman here to begin the second half. As we get the offensive foul there. That goes against Riddle. It's her fourth. And it has just been one of those nights. 4 fouls on Riddle. Drew 2 quick ones, another in the second, draws a fourth right there. And you probably won't see her again until the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough. That was right in front of the ref. Kind of see how they've been calling the game and make those adjustments.
She has 4 fouls in 2 minutes of game time.
You know,
I don't know how that's possible.
I don't
There's Obi. Still without a basket. Only took 1 shot in that first half. Breezy Williams, another player, coming in as one of the best scorers for this Wright State team. Still scoreless. Get a good look there. And Dillion's shot comes off. Morgan almost lost the basketball, then almost gave it up. Boone, another 3. Not a great look. Lauren Scott had 4 in the first half for Wright State. Claire Henson, 5 in green at the top. The big bright spot was 7. She goes down. Sagister works inside. 10 on the shot clock. Look at Henson drive. Draws the foul. And we'll head to the free throw line.
Yeah, a couple of really good looks from Wright State and probing, getting 2 feet into that paint. Good things are happening. Again, it's not always about whether that shot goes in or not, but where can they poke those holes into the defense and let the shot come.
And I think to your point, Maria, that was something we saw them do early in this game when at one point it was 11-11, but then they got away from that.
Yeah, absolutely. They started settling for some more threes. They didn't look as fluent on the offensive end.
Kicked out of bounds by Williams. Carrie Hoffman's team has lost 6 out of their last 7. The only win was Oakland back on December 3rd. We'll get back to conference play after this one. A matchup with Green Bay. Preseason favorite looming is Strack. Has a 20-piece.
Something light. Something, you know, she has perfected that fadeaway.
Sagister gonna draw the foul.
Again, calls for the ball. She's working early. She goes, cuts the face of her defender, gets great position, kills the contact, fades away, high ball.
Williams has it, driving on Morgan. Strack got a hand on it. Henson, love what she's doing in the second half. A third try coming here for Dillion. It'll count. And heading to the free throw line. Good goal in over 6 minutes of game time.
It's a great downhill attack, which got out of position for those the white jerseys, and coming back, you got to know where your player is. Some early subs here.
Stillian now with 7, a new career high for the freshman from Sweden. Kaylin Carroll checking back in for the Wildcats. Hit 3 first half threes, part of her 9 points. Lexi Blue had a first half 3. 6 different Kentucky Wildcats put in a long ball. That pass deflected. It went off of Kentucky.
A little stagnant on the offense there. Not a lot of going from one side to the other, not a lot of probing. Again, it's hard when you're up big to continue to have that sense of urgency.
Sagister trying to get free. Blue played some good D. Williams got a step on her defender. Rainbow 3, no. Second chance. Also comes up short. Oh, showtime for Obi. Wide open is Carroll. A rebound for Henson. Does a nice job of finding Sagister.
Great extra effort as she's going out of bounds there underneath the Kentucky basket.
This Wright State team playing their 6th road game in the last 7. You've been on some long road trips. Sometimes that can weigh on your legs ever so slightly.
Oh man, not only that, but you're packing and unpacking and sleeping in hotel beds and just not always comfortable.
Tips that one out of bounds, and my wife will tell you, sleeping in your own bed, it matters.
Listen, it really does. And you mentioned earlier I had the opportunity to do some broadcasting with the Fever, and their schedule gets a little wonky, and being on the road and going from one time, you're going to different time zones at times. Like, it's just so much more than just playing the game, but they're literally going from place to place.
Here's Morgan, draws the foul. We oftentimes forget how much goes into these seasons, and from talking to a number of the members on the Kentucky staff, it's been a long semester. You play a lot of games on the road, very successful, 6-1 in games away from historic Memorial Coliseum, but it can be taxing on the body.
Yep. Away crowds are typically harder to play in front of, and then you factor in schoolwork, homework and tests and quizzes, and oh man, I don't miss that.
And neither do I. Morgan won't miss that.
There we go.
12 now for Tony Morgan. She's really started to figure out the scoring and distributing mix, making her so dangerous. Scott for 2. Rebound for Carroll. Shots just not going so far in the second half here for the Raiders. Obi, straight line drive, has her first basket of the night. And a timeout coming here. Jordan Obi puts Kentucky up big. When we come back, we'll talk about Jordan Obi's big day. As we went to break, Jordan Obi picking up her first basket of the night, but she picked up a second diploma earlier today. One of 25 Kentucky current and former athletes to graduate. Jordan Obi completing a master's degree, picked up her bachelor's at Penn. Today, though, graduating with a master's in information, communication, and technology. University of Kentucky will have 141 total graduates during this calendar year. And oftentimes in this new era of college athletics, we forget about the impact that getting an education at these institutions can provide.
Absolutely. Like, let me take a second here, because she does such a good job and all across the board. As you can see, Henson too. It is so much more to the name student athlete, because they harp on that student. You don't just not play, but we're talking about things beyond your sport. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? And basketball has actually given you an opportunity to do so. So huge kudos to those athletes and many more that are getting ready to graduate.
Inside here as Carroll picks it off, and a big shout out to all those academic counselors that have helped these athletes. The CATS program here at Kentucky.
Let me tell you, Tiffany Hayden has done a great job. You saw 3.0 on 26 consecutive semesters. I was a part of that, so very proud of that.
Humble brag. You started it.
I did.
It has been a little while, though, since you played.
Not too much.
Had to humble you a little bit. Here's Blue, open from the corner. Short on the 3. Kentucky, after hitting 10 in that opening half, now 0 for 4 from downtown in the second. Quick trigger. Drought hits. Those are the first points for Mackenzie Drought in her Wright State career. Began her career at App State.
And you got to know, again, that this is a three-point shooting team. You can't, under any circumstances, back off a little bit.
Obi fouled. As you saw a moment ago, a Wright State team that shoots over 8 or makes over 8 three-pointers per game. This is one of their makes tonight.
Right. See right there, looked like Lexi Blue wanted a switch, but instead there was not really a hard screen. If any screen, you got to stay out.
And that'll take us right back out to break. Kentucky up by 32. Festive spirit here inside historic Memorial Coliseum as Kentucky looks to wrap up the first semester. Well, everyone watches women's sports, and a big one on the Terraflex tomorrow. #1 seed Kentucky taking on 3rd seed Texas A&M in the NCAA Volleyball Championship. It'll be the first time ever that 2 SEC teams have met in the final. Bria, I know you're a huge volleyball fan.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a ton of fun just to follow the sport this season.
Oh my goodness, from top to bottom, you know, what Coach Skinner is doing with this group of young women has been transformative. I mean, you see them battling day in and day out. They're not taking anything for granted. You can see that they have a real love and passion for the game. They had won it back in 2020 when there was no people in the stands. So good to see them back on that big stage and doing work.
Greg Skinner's team has won 9 consecutive SEC championships, won the return of the SEC tournament down in Savannah. Texas A&M has been one of the truly great stories down the stretch of the season. And Bree, I was told I must have been drinking a little too much eggnog because that game is actually Sunday, not Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
Yeah, I was talking to my mom about it earlier in the sense of, you know, that they get 2 days, you know, before the big game, whereas in college basketball, you only have that 1 day in between. So
Fair.
They're going to be rest up and ready to go.
The ball was tipped into the backcourt. Wright State able to maintain possession. Okay, trying to find an open teammate. Located Brown. They tried to slip it back to her. They could not make the catch. Okay, the transfer from UIW. From over in Nigeria, coming stateside to play basketball. Just 4.9 remaining on the shot clock here. Inbounded deep, tracked down by Rager. Has to throw it up, and Strack rejected it. That play looked like it was in slow motion, and Clara Strack knew exactly what to do with that heave.
Well, you know what? I tensed up a little bit. It looked like it was, you know, almost going to come right towards us had the ball gotten up a little bit more, but staying ready.
Kentucky turns it over. Running the floor is Drought off the glass. Continuing her strong night, she has 5. First 5 points of her Wright State career. Strack hit a first half 3, passed it up that time. Backing down, okay, off the glass, why not? It's been that type of night for Clara Strack. She has 22.
Yep. That one we see her a lot in the fadeaway situation, but that one was just a nosedive to the basket.
And now an offensive foul there as Tony Morgan took one to the face. It'll go on Magestro Kennedy.
You said it earlier, Morgan is just finding her groove with this team. You know, it's a different environment, different style of play, but she's been able to take on that leadership role as the point guard, get her team into the sets that she wants to run, along with finding and distributing the ball. So,
Bree, you never transferred into a program. You were at Kentucky for your entire career, but you had new pieces come in.
Yes.
How do you acclimate yourself to new teammates?
Grace. A lot of grace, a lot of patience, you know, a new system, especially with the Matthew Mitchell system, getting up, getting ready, getting your body in the best, you know, shape, condition-wise. You got to give yourself grace and give your teammates grace and space to grow, and really just trust in the process. And I think we did that pretty well.
5 fouls, putting Kentucky in the bonus here in the third quarter as Josie Gilvin steps to the free throw line. Gilvin now with a season-high 6, has been limited in terms of playing time off the bench this season. Was a second-team all-conference selection in Conference USA a season ago. And a strong night this evening.
Yeah, Gilvin, she has that attitude of, I'm going to show you why I deserve to be here and why I deserve to play.
She's a Kentucky kid.
Hey, there we go, and it's that pride, and you know, Kentucky does not play okay about their players, so came in, she's got it.
Good slip pass here. Carroll inside off the glass. Had the mismatch on Boone. Wright State got off to the quick start offensively in the first quarter, but have slowed down significantly. PK Carroll not slowing down. She's got 12, 4 threes tonight.
That's a huge piece. You know, she's the more she gets comfortable, that's going to be a threat that not a lot of teams are going to be able to match up with.
Henson loses the basketball. Gilvin pushing, locates Morgan. Open is Boone. Battle inside, Gilvin couldn't win it as Williams pushes the break. Kentucky's length on defense has caused problems all night long for Wright State. Here's Sagister penetrated, gave it up. Numbers for Kentucky. Morgan to the cup.
Again, so much court awareness. There was definitely that burst of energy. She didn't have to lay it all out at the beginning. Was able to read that defense and just go and make a strong move to the bucket.
Wright State trying to find some offense here in the third quarter. It's been hard to come by. Trout's giving them 5 in the quarter. 6 on the shot clock. Williams steps through. Teardrop, no. Boone has it. Obi just lost the basketball. Kentucky's done a nice job of taking care of the basketball all night long. Just 4 turnovers.
Yeah. And you know, I think they could talk a little bit more. You know, I didn't even know Obi was in the corner. You know, she might not have shot the 3 ball, but get that ball up, see if you can get something early. I love how she ran and spaced the floor. Now it's time to reward yourself.
Bria, what does that communication look like for players out there?
Well, and it's crazy because it's so different from high school to college.
Henson into double figures.
Yeah, and one of the big things about it is, I know for me, I talked a lot and I talked loud just so that I was also walking myself through whatever play we were running or whatever defensive we were going to do. So I just had to talk my way through it so my teammates knew what I was doing and so that I knew what I was doing out there too.
You know, I haven't been able to hear you all night.
Really?
I guess you got to speak up, right?
I guess I do. And my voice projects, so I don't believe that you haven't been able to hear me.
Kentucky up by 37 here, gearing up for SEC play. SEC off to a great start to the year already here as you see Coach Brooks getting into his team on the sidelines. Right now, Shea Ralph's Vanderbilt team, led by Michaela Blakes, one of the best scorers in the country, has looked fantastic. How good has Texas been? And then LSU, we've got to talk about that offense. Kentucky's going to have to face them in their first SEC game of the year coming up on January 1st.
Oh, yeah. You know, LSU, who has a plethora of great scores, you know, Kentucky's got to be on their P's and Q's in the sense of how they're going to be able to stop as many players as they can, or at least make it extremely difficult for players to score. But you know what? I'm looking at Kenny Brooks right now, and
was fired up.
Yeah, and you know what? It doesn't matter what it says on the scoreboard. We're here to get better, and he's having that type of momentum, trying to get for his team to keep going.
Not ready to kick back and drink the eggnog just yet.
Yeah.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Here's Boone, straight on 3. Short, Obi. The second chance won't go. Battle for it. Obi tracks it down and finds Carroll. A reset on the shot clock. Wide open, Gilvin. Just an ugly shot there. Boone went down in transition. It leaves Sagister wide open. Great scramble there from Gilvin to get back. And now Henson steps out of bounds. You can just see some of the tired legs right now for Wright State.
Yeah. Again, you know, you're playing a team that you have a big lead on. You know that the Christmas break is coming. These are these games where you got to buckle down, take care of business, see if you can finish it strong, and go off on the Christmas break on a high note.
Morgan let it roll, under 10 on the game clock here in the third quarter. Kentucky was 74 points already. Morgan with one. Morgan, the teardrop at the buzzer won't go. And that will take us to the fourth quarter. Kentucky putting up some big numbers here in Lexington, a 37-point lead. Some ice skating downtown at Triangle Park as the Holiday Conference game against Hofstra remaining before they get into SEC play. This is a look at the preseason poll in the Southeastern Conference. We've seen South Carolina, Texas, LSU have great starts to the season. Kentucky outperforming some expectations as we get set for SEC openers. We already talked about Kentucky, LSU. I'm excited to see South Carolina, Alabama.
Yep.
Dawn Staley's Gamecocks have looked so good here early this season.
So strong. I mean, from top to bottom, they have so many really good pieces, as do a lot of the SEC team. I'm really interested in what Vanderbilt can do. You know, that Michaela girl, boy, she's tough.
She's a scorer.
She a bucket gets her, okay? And she's just one of those players that comes in, she knows what she needs to do, and she does it at the best of her ability. So where can she fit in with this Vanderbilt team and take them to? I'm really excited to see what she can do.
I think it's crazy, too, just the number of different styles of play in this conference. You think of Oklahoma and how much they rely on Reagan Beers inside. You think of Tennessee and kind of that hockey-type lineup that Kim Caldwell runs. It's going to be a fun next couple of months.
It is, and I always say, I might be a little biased, but I always going to say it, the SEC is the best and the strongest conference out there, and especially this year with so many talented players playing right now, it's going to be amazing.
7 teams right now, make it 8 teams inside the top 17 in the country, so
it's crazy.
Almost 50% of the teams in the top 17.
I'll take it.
Here's Strack for 3. Has 22 so far on this evening. He could be on career high watch for her at 27 earlier this year against Buffalo. Bria, we start with Wright State. What do you need to see from them here in the fourth quarter?
Well, one, again, getting back into their shots. What was working at the beginning of the game, those first couple minutes, was the fact that they were able to probe in and not only make it in the bucket, but distribute the ball and find the open person. And then also keeping Kentucky contained on the three-point line.
Well, they won't contain Clara Strack as she gets 24. Similarly for Kentucky, how do they need to use these final 10 minutes before Christmas?
Man, let me tell you, you never want to go into a break knowing that you didn't give your all in the game prior, because you'll just be itching to get back and you can't even enjoy it. So you better come in, see if you can do something rhythm-wise and get a good flow.
Morgan was trying to become the 7th Wildcat to hit a 3 tonight. Racing back, nice finish in transition for the speedy Breezy Williams. Her first basket as she comes up a little hobbled.
She has struggled this game, and just that length over the three-point line, and along with just those long arms in the paint.
Carroll wants a second half 3. She'll get it.
Well,
15, 5 threes. Both have tied her career highs tonight. That's how you step up when given an opportunity.
Seriously. Like, there's any young women out there, or young boys too, watching this game. It's not about where you start, how many minutes you get. It's about when you have that opportunity that presents itself, you better take advantage. I mean, it's just, at this point, it's clockwork, okay? There's not a lot of pressure up there. For whatever reason, she is seeing the ball wide open as if she hasn't hit 4 prior. So you better know where she's at, and you better step in ready to go, Carroll.
Carroll coming in as the highest ranked recruit under Kenny Brooks this year, 15th. Has not seen a ton of playing time here early on in the season, but what she's able to provide you at the 4 is fantastic. And I think even more exciting for Big Blue Nation, Bria, you've got Kaylin Carroll this year, but next year you've got even a better class coming.
That's what I'm saying. And that's how it goes. You just build momentum. I know those players are watching today's game and listening to our voices as we talk about them, but that's what you want to do. You want to come in and have an immediate impact. And just like this player coming from another school, coming in, stamping her name on it too.
Morgan up to 16. That class next year for Kentucky, the 4th ranked class in the country. Adam Greenway, Emily McDonald, Savvy Swords. As Riddle has gotten going here in this fourth quarter.
Well,
have been held to just 2 minutes all
Yeah.
game due to foul trouble.
man, I've never seen a stat line quite like that. 4 fouls, 2 minutes.
Here's Gabby Brooks, youngest daughter of head coach Kenny Brooks.
So special.
Morgan locates a wide open Strack, unable to hit the three. Carroll was battling, came down for Brown. Pitched ahead, Riddle, inside, rejected by Strack. Fourth block of the night for 13 and White. Carroll pushing the floor. Side iron was not friendly.
Even off balance, Strack is able to locate that ball.
A tough two there for Scott. Things starting to open up a little bit here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, something about, you know, it being the last 10 minutes or so, not holding anything back in the tank and just kind of laying it out there.
Carroll has tied her season high, career high with 15 tonight. Here's Brooks, inserts it. Strack, 26.
Cooking. Can't stop her. Excited to see what she's about to do in the SEC season.
Long three on the way, short. Kentucky slowing it down for the moment. Blue walked.
I mean, again, the rip-through was there. Strack was actually a step or two behind as she checked out of the game and still was able to make up for the difference with her length and her athleticism getting off the floor. Fun player to watch.
Kentucky led the nation in block shots a year ago. They're better this year, outperforming their season average tonight. Scott couldn't hit it inside. Kentucky trying to put the finishing touches off on a 12th win this year. Well on their way at the moment. Keep an eye on Carroll in the corner. Instead, it's Blue. Battle for the basketball. Carroll whistled for the personal.
I saw Carroll in the corner and in the transition. Morgan didn't hit her, but was able to probe the defense. After you get through that first line, then it's just like everything opens up. You can have the pick of the litter here, who can shoot the ball.
Kentucky doing a good job of defending the pick and roll. Under 10 on the shot clock. Wright State's got to go. Brown has it. Great find inside. And the finish for Riddle, who's up to 10, 8 of those in the second half.
Wow. I'll tell you now, if she didn't have those fouls in those first, couple minutes, I wonder what the score would be.
She's been an impact piece for sure when on the floor.
Yeah.
Obi, bullet pass to Morgan. Carroll hunting her 6-3. Too strong. Obi was trying to grab the rebound, couldn't come up with it. Thrown ahead. Magestro Kennedy. Extra pass. Rager. No.
It's good ball movement there. I like how Kentucky's contesting every shot, but you got to be disciplined. Stay feet on the ground.
Morgan inside and heading to the free throw line when we come back. Kentucky up big. Trying to improve to 12-1 for the second straight year in a row. They're well on their way. It's the holiday season, and if you're here in Lexington, you need to check out Simply Sweet Cookie Co. Kaylee Kunopasek is the wife of strength and conditioning coach Kevin Kunopasek on this Kentucky women's basketball staff. She makes incredible cookies, and she was nice enough to give us some cookies here to enjoy the holiday season here in Lexington. So she provided us with some, and Bria, it's only fair on Christmas to eat some Christmas cookies. So let's go ahead and do a live taste test.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
Well, those are fantastic. You can see our camera operators even getting in on the fun underneath.
And they're beautiful. They're so soft. So much flavor. They're in every bite.
I got to
right?
take a second.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you're going to eat this all day.
Well, we might have to find some time during this free throw to continue to eat these cookies, but a big thank you to Kaylee Kunapasik and her company, Simply Sweet Cookie Co. If you're in Lexington and searching for some cookies for a special occasion or a Christmas celebration, make sure to check her out on Instagram at Simple and Sweet Cookie Co.
Wow. It's fantastic. I need one more bite.
It's really hard to eat a cookie while you're broadcasting.
Delicious. They're doing something masterful in that bakery.
We will have to finish that later, right?
Yeah, we will.
Tony Morgan hitting both free throws as we come out of the break. 18 tonight for Morgan. She had 18 in her last game as well against Belmont. Kentucky up by 35 as Dillian penetrates. Williams drives, got a step on Obi. Obi may have deflected that shot.
Yep.
Every Kentucky Wildcat that has come on the floor has scored tonight except for Gabby Brooks, who finds herself in the corner. Here's Carroll. This for a new career high, why not?
Wow.
18 for Carroll, 6 from downtown. The young freshman with a coming out party here inside historic Memorial Coliseum.
No, that's how you do it. That's how you get it done. The focus. Every single shot looks the exact same. I'm actually more surprised when she doesn't make it at this point.
It's a nice problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. Keep shooting it.
Dillian trying to find an open teammate. 4 on the shot clock. Drought just has to throw it up. Could not find iron. A shot clock violation. It will go to Kentucky. Looked like Kentucky had possession before the shot clock finished up. Asia Boone wants a 3. There it is.
Again, the offensive fluidity from handoff to pass to zipping it to getting from one place to the other. The all being on the same page right now is definitely leading to a whole lot of great points here.
Kentucky on the night, 14 made threes. Williams off of 1 foot. Rebound goes to Carroll. He came into tonight thinking Kentucky would have a distinct advantage in the paint due to their height, but they've actually been the better outside shooting team here tonight.
No, that's a great point, Noah. I didn't even think about that. The fact that there's a 5-inch difference, I believe.
Here's Boone, rolls another one in.
On average of 5. It's one of those things where you would think there would be a lot more rebounding, there would be a lot of paint scoring, but really that 3 ball has just worked.
That one will go out of bounds. Kentucky with another dominant showing here at home. 20-3 in 2 seasons under Kenny Brooks here at historic Memorial Coliseum. They came into tonight outscoring opponents by over 200 points in their 5 home games this season. Here's Brooks. No. Second chance for Obi. Underneath. Again, missed it. Battle for the basketball, and the Raiders have it.
And Obi does all the little things right, and as soon as she gets that ball, it's almost like she rushes just a tad bit. If she slows herself down, gets that ball high off the glass, you know, that's an extra 12 points or so she can get.
Williams off the glass into the hands of Obi. I think when you look at the box score, it just speaks to the amount of weapons on this Kentucky team. Without one of their best tonight in Tiani Key, who's day-to-day with that lingering lower body issue, but so many weapons. Here's another one. I'm gonna follow underneath. This one's gonna go on Riddle, and her night will finally be done.
They started to get in her bag a little bit there late. Got some early foul trouble and just had to be on the bench for most of the game, but again, her game could have easily been very different going out.
And to complete that thought, I think with the added depth this year for Kentucky, it sets them up extremely well to be successful in a loaded Southeastern Conference.
It does. I'm telling you, the depth, the depth is one of those things that really does separate you from. As Boone hits yet another three here, having the depth is the world of difference. You can't. You might be able to do stuff with 6 and 7 players, but having 8, 9 that just know how to ball.
Williams, no. Kentucky with 4 players with more than 17 tonight. Gilvin found Obi. They're not done yet. Blocked inside by O'Kee. Thrown ahead. Drought. It'll go. Continuing a strong showing tonight with 7. We'll have a chance to add to that. Breezy Williams checking out of the game. Just a quiet night for Zero and Green tonight with only 2 as Drought completes the 3-point play. And with the shot clock off here, Kentucky will bring it across half court and dribble out the remaining seconds on win number 12 this season. And for the 2nd year in a row, Kentucky will be 12-1. Doing that for the first time since back in your playing days, Bria Goss.
Oh, we got it done.
So Kentucky continues to roll here in Lexington. 12-1 on the season, 6-0 here inside historic Memorial Coliseum, and a perfect bow to wrap up this first half of the season as we head into Christmas break.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year, not only because you have this time to really zone in. There's no class and no tests and things that you have to worry about. So now it's just about getting better, seeing if you can add on and really lock in and build that chemistry.
Kenny Brooks walks off the floor. His team 12-1 for the 2nd year in a row. Clara Strack playing a massive role tonight. Finishes with 26, just 1 off of her career high. She was doing it all over the floor, Bria Gross.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where one thing about her is the best thing that she's able to have the best footwork, the poise, the leadership, the rebounding, being able to go in and get all the blocks that you have. Thank you for joining us. What do you think? What did you think about today's game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did a really good job, like defensively. I think there's a lot to improve on there too, though. Getting better at that. Tonight we just went in the mindset to get better, and I think we did a good job.
Clara, talk about the focus levels a little bit, because you're all going home for Christmas. Yeah. It's easy to kind of think about SEC play. How were you guys able to maintain focus tonight and come out with a big win?
Yeah, I mean, that's something Coach Brooks talked about all week. Just being where your feet are and focusing on this game and knowing that this is the most important thing in this moment, not whatever's about to happen tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, a lot of people talk about your offense, but I think I'm more impressed with your defense. What are some of the things that you really focus on in the offseason to not only get your blocks, but having the help side and getting your team pumped up?
Yeah, I mean, just like being strong, obviously getting stronger, and then just knowing like my team's gonna have my back. Like that's a lot of like our defensive principles is just helping each other and knowing that someone else is gonna be there if you don't do it. So.
Well, Clara, Christmas season here. You're about to head home for Christmas break. What's a big Christmas tradition in the Strack household?
Oh. Honestly, we just hang out with family. We don't really do anything special.
Well, we'll let you get to that. But, Clara, thanks for joining us here on the broadcast, and enjoy your Christmas break.
Thank you, guys.
Great job.
Kentucky out on top. A big win tonight. 43 points, the final margin over Wright State. Bria, a quick closing thought.
Man, I mean, it's one of those things, especially going into break and going into the SEC season. You want to have, you know, a feel-good attitude. I think that's exactly what this game was about. No, it wasn't pretty, but it's definitely one of those things that they can continue to build on, have that camaraderie, get that chemistry together, and go out and put a stamp on the SEC.
Well, Kentucky 12-1 now for the 2nd season in a row. Hofstra remains, and then on to SEC play. Kaylin Carroll with a big night tonight. The Kentucky Wildcats across the board get it done. Kentucky 96-53 over Wright State. So for Bria Goss, our producer Daniel Gibbons, the rest of our crew, I'm Noah Frary saying so long and happy holidays from Lexington.